Apple ended March by confirming when the next Apple event is, and it's not in April, actually. In fact, it's WWDC 2021, which is officially going to be on Monday, June 7th. Very grateful for that. I had some plans in the other times of the month, so there was a chance I wouldn't be able to watch this. Now there is. Let's talk about what we might expect. Let's begin. So let's just first of all look at the invite image. We've got obviously Apple embracing the Craig Federighi meme. They're all amazed to be opening up the M1 Mac, and hopefully that means this is also going to be a huge Apple Silicon Mac event. Personally, you guys have been watching my channel for a while. You're probably aware I'm really excited for redesigned iMacs. They haven't been updated in 11 years, and we know that they're going to get Apple Silicon at some point soon. So if they could be unveiled at this event at least, that would be great. I know that it might be too much to ask for them to start shipping right at this event, but if they could simply just unveil them and they don't even deliver until the end of the year, it would at least put my plans for when to upgrade would be made a lot easier. So that of course is high on my excitement list, as well as MacBook Pro updates, because currently the only Apple Silicon MacBook Pro has 2 USB-C ports and basically the same chip as the MacBook Air. It's still a really great chip, but of course we would like to see the MacBook Pro lineup get faster, get better, and of course some people want more than 2 USB-C ports, but also still want Apple Silicon. So if there was a way to have both, that would also be very much appreciated. And it's also important to remember, though, that this is mainly a developer conference. This is primarily supposed to be about software. So yes, that of course means iOS 15, of course, which honestly, I don't have a huge number of requests for. Let me know down below what you guys would like to see changed in iOS, but personally, when it comes to the iPhone, I'm pretty happy with the software. It's iPadOS 15 that I actually have much higher expectations for. It felt like iPadOS kind of got snubbed last year and there weren't that many changes or that many noticeable differences. In fact, adding the keyboard and trackpad back in March of 2020 was probably a bigger deal than iPadOS 14 itself, but hopefully this year we can get that revamped external monitor support. We could get things like Final Cut, perhaps some external webcam support, as I mentioned in the 3 things I want iPadOS to gain: video. And when it comes to macOS, I hope we can get probably some refinements on Big Sur, as there's little things here and there that I feel like could use some touch-ups, like the message notifications. Not being able to reply to them in a single click just feels dumb and weird. With watchOS, I'm always at a loss for feature ideas, but hopefully maybe third-party watch faces? You know, 8 years in a row, let's hope it's this time. And then of course tvOS, which will probably just mainly be about Apple wanting to advertise more of their streaming and subscription services. So who knows, we've been hearing about refreshed Apple TVs for years now. Perhaps this could potentially be the event where that happens. But yeah, your boy did end up making a tweet about I will drink water if WWDC wasn't on June 7th. So sounds like I'm gonna end up being pretty thirsty as it is. Anyway, I don't see too many Easter eggs in the invite image. I know we love to break these things down and try to figure out exactly what's inside it, but all we can really see in the reflection of the glasses are the calendar, which is on June 7th with 21 notifications. Maybe there's 21 changes that are coming to that. Not really. There's also the Xcode app, which, you know, that makes sense because it's Xcode. This is a developer conference, and the Terminal app as well. So I know it would be a really great reveal if it was like, turns out that means Xcode is coming to iPadOS or something like that. But given the fact that the memojis are looking directly at a MacBook, that kind of squashes that report. But keep in mind that sometimes they put little Easter eggs or kind of references in these invite images, but other times it doesn't mean anything. There's not always going to be some hidden meeting. I remember back when Apple announced the September 2018 event, and it was called Gather Around with a circle of Apple Campus, and there were tons of people saying that that confirmed an round Apple Watch was coming. It of course did not come out, but a lot of people were just treating it like confirmed. Only thing we can actually say confirmed with here today is the actual date of the event, which is June 7th, and everything else that gets announced is really just speculation on our part, okay? There's no law that says Apple has to unveil iOS 15 at this event. It would be very weird if they didn't, but end of the day, try to keep your expectations realistic. Remember that this is primarily a software event, but at the same time, I have a hard time not getting excited because I feel like we're in the middle of this massive Intel to Apple Silicon transition, and this is the first developer conference where they've already announced certain Apple Silicon, but they have not converted the whole lineup. So this is the perfect time to kind of massively revamp the Mac lineup with new hardware, and there wasn't really much hardware at last year's WWDC. So typically when there's not hardware the year prior, that means there's more likely to be hardware the following year. And just a reminder, of course, this will be an all online event. No one's coming in person. And in case you forgot, last year's Quadruple UDC was Apple's first all online event, which in my opinion was the best live streamed event they did last year. You know, between the September event just being about like iPad Air colors and new Apple Watch finishes, it didn't feel like that big a deal. And then we finally had the iPhone event, which was somewhat exciting, but kind of tainted with the all 5G talk. And then the last event of last year was only 40 minutes and just about the M1 chip. No new designs or anything, but it felt lackluster because of how short it is. Whereas Quadruple UDC last year was just so packed to the brim with changes, all this new exciting stuff coming to iOS and macOS, and of course they announced the Apple Silicon transition, so it was a big deal, and hopefully they can top it with this year's Quadruple UDC. So let me know what you guys are most excited for. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.